All right, Logan, how we doing, buddy?
We're doing good, man. Appreciate you having
Awesome.
me on.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying to share this off to a couple groups right now so we get some people on here. And wanted to get you on here because we just got on boarded with you guys, I think about 3 weeks ago with Same Day. And we were using the AI service prior to you guys. And I'm so thankful for Trent, who found me at RoofCon. And he's like, "Do you know Same Day?" And Trent is he's a funny character. I was like, "No." He's like, "Come on, let's go. We're gonna go talk the Same Day." And brought me over to you guys. My wife had already spoke with you guys over at Sam Taggart's event a couple of times, so she was a little bit more familiar than I was. But brought me over there, got on a call with you guys about, I don't know, maybe a week later, and I didn't even hesitate. I just onboarded because what you guys are doing and what you offered was far superior to the AI services we were offering before. So it was no brainer for us. I'm thankful for that, and appreciate you jumping on because I know some people have a lot of their own thoughts about AI, whether it's good, it's bad. My clients don't want to hear AI. My clients don't care about AI, all the different things. And I think, like most, I was skeptical about it myself before because I've called companies and heard AI, and I've had AI call me, and I'm like, this is just don't even bother. Don't talk to me right now. Um, but AI is a powerful tool when used properly. And I'm not saying you need to use AI in your company every single day for every single phone call. And we don't do that, but there are opportunities for you to use AI. And the success rate that you guys talked to me about with AI and the scheduling, I was like, I have to get on board with Same Day. So why don't you introduce yourself, tell everybody a little bit about Same Day, what you guys are offering, and then we'll kind of get into the nuts and bolts of it.
Yeah, happy to do that. And it's exciting to hear, from your perspective how AI has grown into, a handful of different businesses across the country, and it's not slowing down, which is exciting. So, great to meet all of you guys. My name's Logan Bice. I oversee our customer success team here at Same Day AI. So when you guys get started with us, my team is going to be the one that's onboarding you guys, getting you set up, building your AI, continue to make tweaks and adjustments to it, which is super fun and exciting. We see a lot of cool advancements happen almost every day. Same Day AI, we've been around for about 4 years now. So we were the first company in the world to start answering phone calls with generative AI. We've actually been around even longer than companies like OpenAI have, which is extremely fascinating to see how much we've grown and how much AI has grown. I always look back to when I first started and the conversations with AI, I was like, this is revolutionary. We're going to change the world. And I go back and listen to those calls. I'm like, how did we sell this? It was so it just goes to show how quickly AI changes and improves. And I mean, I'm excited to see 2 years from now to look back at these conversations and be like, JC, can you remember what the AI sounded like then? Just because it improves and changes so much. So it's really awesome and cool to see.
Yeah, and I've heard some really bad AI. I've been called by, spam bots with AI, and there are some really bad ones out there. But what you guys are doing, really, like, I mean, I put the number for our company out on Facebook a couple or last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, and I had barely even gave it any input. Like, you guys put it in there, was able to go live with it. I shared it with everybody, and the only critique I got from people was it talked too fast. And within 5 minutes, we sent that over to you guys. You slowed down the voice and it was dialed in. So it's incredible how fast you can make some changes to it. Um, and all the powerful ways you can utilize it to be able to communicate with a customer. And, for us, it's not going to be used all day throughout the day. We're using it for overflow nights and weekends. And far too often when a client calls or a prospect calls and they get a voicemail, they're not going to leave a voice message. But with AI, if they're trying to get some information or trying to get scheduled, they'd rather talk to something than nothing. And
Yeah.
and here's a question for you too. Like right now, we don't say that it's Cape Fear Pro Wash AI, and I do know some people say, "Hey, we found it better to say that it's AI in the beginning to at least let the customer know than to try and like not convince them or like trick them into thinking it's human, but along the way, they're like, wait a second, there's this AI. So what are like you seeing statistically across the board are your clients doing? Are they introducing it or they're not? It's just a mix.
Yeah, it's a good question, and I wish there was better data around what performs better, but what we found is the demographic changes everything, right? If you're in the San Francisco area and you say that it's an AI, no one bats an eye. You say it's an AI in rural Louisiana, people are hanging up right away.
Yeah.
And so the data is hard to measure. So I typically tell people it's personal preference at this point. And I think most people lean into announcing that it's an AI, or they usually say virtual assistant because I think AI does kind of have this negative connotation sometimes. Um, but what we found is the landscape is changing so much with customers just accepting that regardless of who they call, it's going to be some sort of automated system. Um, and the moment they give it a chance, because everyone's been, I don't want to say brainwashed, but they've been trained to believe it's like calling. I had to call Verizon 5 times last week, and it was painful because it's the one word answers, and it's please tell me why you're calling, and I'll see if I can assist you. And
Yes.
it's so far from that, right? We see multiple calls a day where people are like, wait a second, this can't be AI. Like it has to be a human. In times where people don't mention that it's a virtual assistant and they'll get 4 or 5 minutes into a conversation, AI will mess up slightly and they'll be like, wait a second, that didn't sound human. And they have to guess, they have to ask because they don't know because it improves so much. Long way of saying it really boils down to personal preference on whether or not you want it to say virtual assistant or not. The data doesn't show drastic improvements one way or the other. So I would say completely up to you guys on what you think is going to be best for your clients.
Yeah. And, when I post and talk about using AI on voice answering service and inbound, outbound calls, it's like a 50-50 split. Like AI is stupid. My
Hmm.
customers don't want it. And it's always the same people who are like, just don't like change or can't accept change. Just like when ChatGPT rolled out, everybody's like, that's so stupid. Nobody's going to do that. You can't post anything if it was written by ChatGPT. Now everybody's using AI.
Yeah.
And, same thing with like cell phones when they came out. Anything that has like a drastic change in the way they perform or work or operate, there's always going to be the haters, and there's always going to be like the ones that are on board right away and just running with it and taking advantage of it. So, um, you know, over time, like you said, pretty much most phone calls will be answered by AI.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It, it's always consistent. There's no emotions involved. It's just direct data that able to speak to the clients. And at least with you guys, if it gets to the point where they say, "Hey, I would like to speak to somebody in the office," it could say, "All right, great. Let me go ahead and transfer you over to that." So if it gets to that point, but for the ones that are out there saying like AI is stupid, my customers like you're thinking wrong and you're going to be left behind. Like, I mean, that was me a while ago. I was left behind on many things in business because I was against it. Now I'm trying to like be ahead of everything, so that I'm not like the last person to get on board and the only one that doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. So the better you educate yourself about it and see the opportunities out there for your clients. If anything, you're doing your client a disservice by not having this for after hours and nights and weekends, because again, if they got your number or however the lead source was, you paid for that phone call. And if
Hmm.
they don't leave a voicemail, well, then you just wasted 40, 50, $100, whatever it was for that phone call. And now you don't have an opportunity to call them back because they already talked to somebody else who possibly did have AI. So,
Yeah, and I think that plays a huge role in it, right? Is people are very focused on whether or not their customers want to talk to an AI. But the question isn't do they want to talk to an AI? It's do they want to talk to someone, right? If I'm, a homeowner and I'm calling about my water heater not heating up my water, it's 10 p.m. at night and I called it to a plumber to see if someone can come out and take a look. Even if I have to wait till tomorrow morning and I just can't get a hold of anyone, I'm starting to lose patience,
right.
right? If an AI answers, gathers my information, says, "Hey, Grit, I can have a technician come out first thing tomorrow morning," I'm going to sleep easy tonight because I know I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and 2 hours after I've got hot water again, right? And so there's this this weird paradigm of, yeah, people thinking that they don't want to talk to an AI, but I think business owners are starting to realize more and more that it's not a matter of talking to an AI versus a human. It's missing a call versus not missing a call, missing
Correct.
revenue, not missing revenue, right? And and I think you're right. You know, those that aren't wanting to get on board are going to be the ones that they ultimately get left behind because AI can answer an infinite amount of calls at once. There's no scalability or efficiency bottleneck that can happen with revenue calls, right? It's going to be able to handle all of them. And then worst case scenario, you have, a million calls that come in that you guys can choose from on what jobs do I want to take and not take.
Right, right. Yeah, and with all the spam calls coming through right now, like AI does a really good job of not even getting to like dealing with them.
Yeah.
It
Oh
just
yeah.
filters them out. So that's a great thing because I can't tell you how many times the phone rings the office and the ladies already know, like, oh, that's spam. I'm not going to answer it. That's so freaking annoying. So that's just another way to filter out all the BS calls so you can be focused on the important ones.
Yeah. Or you get a call from my team about, hey, have you guys heard of voice AI before? We're trying to show you guys. So can filter out those ones for whatever else you want, but voice AI, you guys should hear them out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So if anybody's joining us right now, if you have any questions about AI, voice AI, we're going to talk about all the cool features and benefits that Same Day has. And there's so much stuff that you guys offer within the program that I'm still trying to figure out. So I'm really excited to kind of learn more about it. I know you guys do the inbound calls, but just before we jumped on, we talked about doing the outbound calls. Let's talk a little bit about that and some other cool features and benefits. And then when you're ready, we can pull the dashboard and do some test demos.
Yeah. Yeah. Outbound AI, I mean, it's relatively new to the market and we've been doing it for, I don't know, 8, 9 months now. And it's only getting better, which is cool. But the nice thing about outbound is there's a use case for everything, right? You're getting lead forms from lead aggregators or from your website. You're wanting to reach out to unsold customers that might have gone cold that your team doesn't want to reach out to because they're probably not great leads anymore. AI is not going to care if they get yelled at. You're reaching out to people that are on memberships that haven't scheduled their tune up. You're reaching out to people that had raised their hand in the past that didn't end up converting. There's a million different things you can reach out to customers about. AI can call them as often as you want. We'll set up the cadence, we'll set up the days, we'll set up the scripting, and then you just get to sit back. AI does all the hard work for you guys. And as soon as the customer's ready to schedule, great, we'll put it on your guys' schedule or we'll transfer it to one of your sales reps to close that deal.
That's pretty awesome. So you can just give it the phone numbers to call and then just starts making phone calls.
Yeah. So we've got customers that will load in, a list of 500 customers that raised their hand for service over the last 2 years and never ended up getting scheduled. And I mean, businesses kind of assume those leads is lost almost at this point, right? There's a certain time frame that after it has no contact, we're just, hey, we can't get a hold of them. AI is going to call them over and over again until we've told it to stop calling or the customer said, hey, don't call me again. And, in those situations, it books at 2%. You get a few extra deals. That's a huge win for deals that you would have otherwise considered lost.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, think about it. You have a list of 500. How long would that take a human to go through that list? And how
Yeah,
frustrated would they be after 50 phone calls?
yep. Yep, they're getting yelled at because I raised my hand 7 months ago and I didn't need service then. Why would you think I need it now?
Yeah.
It's gonna stay positive. It's gonna show empathy, and it's gonna move on to the next one.
Now, we'll leave a voicemail as well too.
It can, yeah. We have the option to leave a voicemail or not leave a voicemail, which is actually, I think, one of my favorite things because one of the worst things is you get 10 calls and it leaves 10 voicemails. If I'm the consumer, I'm like, dude, I don't need 10 voicemails. I got it. But also, there's companies out there that can't leave voicemails at all. If I get a missed call from someone that didn't leave a voicemail or send me a text, I am not calling that number back.
Oh yeah.
Never.
Yep.
Right. So we cater to both and we cater to, hey, I want to leave a voicemail on call 1 and call 7. I don't want to leave a voicemail anywhere in between.
That's nice. That's really cool. Then, yeah.
So
So flooding with voicemails because, yeah, like you said, I mean, I get missed phone calls all the time, and luckily Apple does a good job of filtering out if it's not a contact, it goes to the unknown. And then if I go to voicemails and there's no voice message, like, all right, you're done. You're spam.
yeah.
You're blocked. So And
Yep.
then what other options or opportunities are there to communicate with the client other than phone? Is that it right now?
We just launched texting a couple weeks ago. So texting is now available to where a couple options, right? So one of the coolest things about the texting, in my opinion, is customers on the phone with the AI and their kids are playing in the backyard and customer had to hang up because they had to go bring in their kids from, fighting or whatever it might have been. AI can then send a follow-up text saying, "Hey JC, it looks like we got disconnected.
No
If it's
way.
easier to help out over text, I'm happy to do so." And it'll have a two-way text conversation with you from there. We can also text in these campaigns where we're outbound texting to old leads, unscheduled estimates, happy calls, appointment confirmations, whatever it might be.
Really?
So it's
All right.
exciting. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So we'll have a conversation
Yeah.
through the AI, and then like we'll get a copy of that transcript as well.
Yep. Yep. So you'll see AI called here, customer responded here, AI, customer, etc.
Now I'm asking questions. I'm here, guys. I want to learn with you too because I don't know everything about it. So if you have questions about AI, please go ahead and drop the comments. But so we can do the outbound calls. We can leave a voicemail. Can it do a follow up with a text message after that too, as part of the flow?
Yeah. So you're saying on the outbound AI sends out a call, customer doesn't answer, sends a text message after as a follow-up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Jeez, that's incredible.
So again, texting is brand new. So I wouldn't say we're in beta, but it's not as dialed in our phone calls. But yeah, we've seen 3 or 4 customers in the last couple of days that started texting have some good results from stuff like that.
All right. That's a really cool feature that I mean, again, it's springtime or getting to be springtime. A lot of guys are slow right now. Especially like the one man bands and the smaller operations. Like having this feature or opportunity to be able to get calls being done while you're out in the field and getting answered and responses, like that's an incredible opportunity to start getting the schedule booked without even have to pick up the phone yourself. So that alone right
Yeah,
there.
I mean, it's a lifesaver for some of those shops because especially if they're the ones that are still operating the business, the last thing they want to do is be face to face with the customer and their phone rings or something comes in and they have to, put the customer that they're talking to on hold to answer a phone call because they know that means revenue, right? And so it's a sidekick that's going to be available 24/7.
That's really powerful tool right there. And it's always improving, like you said. All right. So one of the real reasons why we switched over to you guys was because you talked about being able to book appointments and give pricing over the phone with the AI. Let's talk a little bit about that feature.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if we want to talk about your company specifically, but I mean, we work with hundreds of companies in a handful of different verticals. So we specialize specifically in the trades, right? Plumbing, HVAC, pest control, roofing, pressure washing, lighting, landscaping, those the backbones of America. Um, which can be tricky sometimes with pricing, right? There's a lot of complexity, right? Depending on how far away the customer is, depending on what type of service they have. If they're bundling different services, do we charge a dispatch? Do we go over, what the repair is going to look like? And so there's a lot of different pricing variability that can be done. So for you guys specifically, you have how many services that you guys offer? 5,
Yeah,
6?
I believe we inputted 5 into the AI.
So 5 different services, and then it ranges based on the size of the project, right? And so it's through AI, we're able to prompt engineer, hey, if the customer's calling in for X service and it's Y size, this is the price. And it dynamically is making those decisions throughout the process of the phone call. It's not having to, hey, let me go check out on our pricing sheet real quick, put on hold for 30 seconds while it go and does math. It's instant responses because it has AI doing the math constantly.
Yeah, I mean it's faster than having a human CSR answer the phone and then start inputting everything. I mean, we gave it a good range. We kind of changed the pricing just a little bit to make it simpler. So we might be off a little bit here or there. And, we figured that if somebody's calling at 7 o'clock at night or 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever, and they wanted to get their house washed, like AI just be able to answer, get their information would leave us the opportunity or not the opportunity to have to call back the next day and take that chance. So we figured if they can give it the price right there on the spot, like you called in, Logan, do you want to get a house wash and driveway cleaning? You could tell us the square foot of your house and a couple other things. Like we're giving you the price right there. You can make that decision right there to say, you know what? Yes, I want to go ahead and book that. And then you guys have that feature where you can integrate with your CRM. It will look at the calendar and say, great, we have an opportunity or a space available for you Tuesday at 3 o'clock. How does that work? I mean, if I'm off by 25 bucks or 30 bucks, but I was able to use AI to book a job overnight and nobody had to communicate, that's a freaking win because that takes
Yeah.
time away, gives time back to my staff to not have to make the phone call, do the calculations and everything. And the job's already booked and everybody was sleeping. So that's a huge opportunity for people, again, especially nighttime and weekends, to be able to continue to answer the phone, bid out jobs, and get them scheduled.
Yeah. And another thing is it removes a lot of the risk of that customer going to call your competitor,
Mhm.
right? That if the customer is under the perception that they are scheduled, that they have a quote in their hands, that they have an appointment tomorrow or the next day, the chances of them calling the next competitor drop drastically. And so you've already paid for that lead. We might as well execute it on it as quickly as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. And most customers aren't out price shopping. They just want to talk to somebody and get the job scheduled. Or I mean, if it's somebody calling for pressure washing, they know that their house needs to be washed and they want it done. They're not thinking about it for 6 months from now. It's not like a big financial decision they have to start planning for. Their house is dirty. They want it cleaned. They just want it scheduled. They don't want to call 5 different companies to figure out, who can come out there next week and get it done. So if you give them the opportunity to talk to somebody, AI, and give them a price on the spot and then get them scheduled, you just solved all their problems and they're a happy client. You go get it done and they're going to refer you and then it's on to the next one.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, the cool thing about all this too is it's only getting better and stronger and more powerful. So it'll be interesting to see in, I don't know, call it 2 months even, how the AI can now factor in different complexities and variables when it comes to pricing because of how much AI improves every single day. So I'm excited to see what that looks like.
Yeah. One of our first AI phone calls that we received with the previous one, a lady called at night and we went back and listened to the call. And you can hear in her voice when she realized it was AI, but she still continued on with the conversation, left all her details. And, this one wasn't as cool as yours, guys, because we couldn't get pricing, couldn't do scheduling this one. That's why we shifted over to same day. But when we called the next day, we asked, what'd you think of the phone call? We told her it was AI. She's like, yeah, it was really great. I thought I was talking to a human at first, but then I didn't realize that it wasn't. But you're the only ones that answered the phone, and I didn't want to make another phone call. And we ended up scheduling the job and booked it and like ended up doing the service the very next day. But again, had it gone to voicemail, we would have been like every other company prior to when she called, and she was going to leave a voicemail. So it was just a great opportunity or reassurance that people would rather talk to something than nobody.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I'm sure people called that lady back too. And, she probably answered a couple calls the next morning of, hey, were you able to get the help that you needed? And she's like, yeah, Cape Fear answered and I was able to get myself scheduled for an appointment today. So,
yeah. And especially with the newer entrepreneurs, business owners out there, they don't understand how important speed to lead is. And just because your phone took a voice message and you call them back 3 hours later, that is not a responsible time for a business owner to call somebody back. If I got a lead coming in, that client, again, they want to talk to you at that moment, not when
mhm.
you're available 3 hours later, because they probably already talked to three other companies. Somebody answered the phone, whatever it was. So speed of lead is so important. And the cost of what same day is, I mean, you can get that back with half a job, depending on your industry. So it's not even like you're losing money. You're investing into your company. You're getting more momentum and getting more jobs closed without even have to think about it. If you're on a roof, you don't want to answer your phone because if you do, you're probably sweaty, hammering away, cleaning the roof, whatever it is. You don't have paper to take the information, so you miss that opportunity. If you're talking to a client, you're not going to say, "Hey, Logan, let me call you, or let me put you on hold right here while I pick up my phone." If you're on the phone with another client, well, hey, let me put you on hold. Let me get this other phone call. So many times throughout the day where you're missing phone calls and you're like, yeah, call them back. But that's not good enough. You need to be answering when that phone rings. If not, you're missing out on opportunities.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
All right. Do you want to pull up the dashboard and we kind of run through that and then maybe do a demo call?
Yeah, let's do it. Let me share my screen and pull this up.
All right, sweet. I got to see your team out in where was I? Myrtle Beach this past week down at Top Rep, and I'll see them down in Orlando
Nice.
next or in 2 weeks at the Light It Up Expo.
We're seeing you all over the world.
Yeah, and then I see you guys in Texas too. And yeah, I see you guys everywhere. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I saw you in Salt Lake. We saw you in Vegas. So we're seeing you everywhere.
I see you more than I see my friends.
Oh, I love it. Cool.
All right.
JC, is that visible to everyone now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I want to do just a kind of a quick walkthrough of some things that I think make us unique in the AI space, and hopefully provide a little bit of context to what JC and I were just talking about. So in SameDay, what I've got here is one of our demo accounts for our roofing company pulled up. And the main thing that I want to highlight here is on our agents tab, we have the ability to build out multiple different agents. Now, what's nice about this is, JC, for someone like you that offers a handful of different services, we haven't done this yet. So I'm giving you a little piece of the pie of what we're going to continue to work on is we're going to be able to build out, we have a pressure washing agent, we have a roof washing agent, we have a driveway washing agent, and we're training these agents specifically on specific tasks and responsibilities. So what ends up happening is when the AI receives an inbound call, it's dynamically determining what type of call is this, where should I send this call, and it's sending it to the right AI agent that can help that customer the fastest and the best. So for this example here, we have Russell, Roxanne, and Amy. These haven't been pre-built to be specific tasks and tools, but say Russell's our sales specialist, Roxanne's our support specialist, and Amy is our routing coordinator. Call comes in, the AI is going to determine what the customer is calling in for, be able to route that customer to one of these AI agents. Customer's not going to really recognize that they're being transferred necessarily, but now they're being helped by specific agents that are trained on specific tasks and responsibilities in the business to create this beautiful experience for the customer and essentially get on and off the phone as quickly as possible. After every single conversation that the AI has, we're going to record and transcribe that entire conversation. So you can come into here, see the entire transcription going back and forth with the AI. You have a full-on recording. And then all of this information over here on the right, all the customer's contact information, when they wanted to schedule an appointment, what type of service we're offering, if we gave them any sort of quote, is going to be emailed and or texted out to those customers. And customers are calling in. If you wanted to still be aware of all of that, you can be notified. And if you're, a morning person like me, you get up at 4:30 in the morning, you look at your phone, you see a few calls came in that were an emergency. Great. I know those are the first couple of things I need to do today. And then with some CRMs that we integrate with, all of this information is going to be ported into that CRM automatically. So you guys don't even have to lift a finger.
That's awesome.
So a lot of really cool things there that, are designed to make your guys' life as easy as possible with AI taking phone calls. The other thing I do want to mention here is all of this is customizable. So you guys get to choose what the AI is telling to a customer, how it answers the phone, what type of voice it uses, how the scripting is, what type of questions it asks, when to bring up certain questions. Everything is completely customizable. We'll help you guys build it from start to finish. But if you guys wanted to tweak it on your own, you guys have the access to modify your agent at any given time, which is cool.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how fast you were able to put it together for washing. And you asked some critical questions about our company and what we do and what we offer. But I think we were on the phone for 45 minutes and it was live.
Yeah, I do have the luxury of doing this over 1,000 times. So what's that phrase about doing something 10,000 hours and you become a perfectionist at it or something? I think I'm getting pretty close to writing AI prompts.
That's good. Even more of a reason I want to work with you guys.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's pretty straightforward and simple, but yeah, you do get the hang of writing out specific things and how it's supposed to look. And I don't want you guys to think that if this is something that you guys are looking at, that you have to do all this on your own. I've got a team that is fully trained on how to do this for your guys' specific industry. So let us work with you. Let us help you out. We'll hold your hand for as long as it takes to hold your hand. Um, there are some self-starters out there that want to make sure they can do it on their own. We'll support you in that too. But we really pride ourselves in providing white glove support and service to make sure that you guys have everything you need. We understand that phone calls are the lifeblood of the business, and if you're missing phone calls or they're not set up correctly, that it's really damaging. So we want to handle it with care.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about integration with some CRMs. What are some of the big ones you guys do integrate with?
Yeah. So right now we have full on integrations with Service Titan, House Call Pro, Service Fusion, and those in the pest control industry field routes. And then we also have the ability to work with Zapier. So any sort of webhooks we can send. So I've sent leads into Job Nimbus, into Jobber. So there's a handful of different things we can do. Anything that Zapier allows us to do, we typically can make happen.
Awesome. Yeah, we literally are switching our CRM to House Call Pro because of how like we know this is going to be successful, and the one we were using before wasn't that great. I mean, it's just not great for anything. So we just knew that in order to use you guys to the fullest, limit, we wanted to get that switch and transformation over. And I'm not saying that if you don't have any of those, you can't use it, because it's still an incredibly powerful tool without it. But there's some key features in there that you guys have that I was like, we have to make this move now, because I cannot wait for the first phone call that it schedules a job and nobody even had to talk to it. And we come in the next day and it's on the calendar and the whole workflow is already set up. So
Yeah.
I'm really, really excited for that opportunity.
It's going to be a real thing. And I'll add to this too. I would say it's probably pretty close to 50-50 on our customers having an integration and not having an integration, because at the end of the day, you're right. Even without an integration, it's better than a lot of the alternatives. And so if the worst thing you have to do is come into the SameDay app or look at your email to see, great, JC called in, he wants an appointment for tomorrow afternoon for this service, all I have to do is drag and drop and make a few clicks. That's better than having to call the customer back. Hey, JC, help me understand, what were you calling in about? Oh, you wanted pressure washing? Okay, where'd you want it? Oh, you want it at your house? Okay, what's your address? And go through all the questions that the AI could have done.
Yeah.
So I was actually at a conference a couple weeks ago, and I was talking to a roofer, and he saw me just walking around the show floor, and he grabbed me. He's like, "Hey, I got to tell you something. I was here at the show. Someone called in, AI answered, booked me a roof estimate. One of my salespersons went out, closed a $15,000 job. The only interaction we have is my salesperson at their house."
That's insane.
And I was like, the ROI on that phone call is through the roof, because
Yes.
otherwise you're missing that phone call.
Yes.
So it's awesome to see. And
Yeah.
those success stories you hear, it's what keeps you, really engaged into making sure that this is performing at its best, because we want to create lifelong customers. We want to create fans.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to, half a dozen shows in the last 2.5 months, and I'd say like 60% of booths right now say some form of AI on it. And that's
Yep.
just telling you the transformation of business. Either you get left behind or you get on board now and you start that train of success. Because I'd rather be doing this now than being the guy 6 months to a year. Like, what is AI? Like, why don't I have AI? And again, the way we're utilizing it right now is after hours and overflow for nights and weekends, and when the ladies are busy at the office and can't answer. And in the past, we've had a third-party answering service before. Again, it's still better than nothing, but I can't tell you how many mistakes were made, because when you have one person answering for dozens and hundreds of different companies, whenever it calls in, just like, oh God, shoot, let me read the prompt on my screen. Who am I answering for? What's the workflow? How does that go? I can't tell you how many times mistakes were made. And they're telling them, oh, we don't service you over there. Oh, no, we can't do this for you. We're just giving out, other bad information. And now it's damage control trying to call back the next day, if we could even get a hold of them.
Yeah.
Now we take all the error out of it because it's already computed in there. And I think at the most, like, that might mess up a price, but it's only because I gave it bad information. And if it's off by like a small margin, I'd rather it still get booked than do nothing.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the way you're looking at it is the exact way it should be looked at, right? Is it's all about margins, and if the marginal errors are smaller and easier to overcome, then it's a good decision for your business, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Absolutely.
I know we wanted to do a test call. You want me to have
Yeah.
the AI call me real quick?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, let me add my number to this campaign, and it'll take about a minute or two for it to ring initially, and then we should be good to see how this goes. So I'll interrupt you when I get this phone call from the AI.
All right. Yeah. Landon, go ahead. If you got questions, please ask away. We're here just to talk about whatever you got, perceptions, thoughts. If you've had experience with AI, we want to hear it all. So go ahead and
Yeah,
shoot.
there's no bad questions. I promise I've heard them all.
I've probably thought about it all in the past too. So again, I was against it forever, but I am on board 100%. And I think we'll gain far more customers than we would lose by not answering.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, we talked about it a little bit earlier about the landscape changing with customers. I think there's very few people out there now who are there's people still that are annoyed by AI, but I think there's far few people now that are very anti where they don't want it to, talk to them at all. I'm getting that call right now, so I'm going to go ahead and answer this. Throw it on speakerphone. Hello?
Hello, this is Roxanne from Demo Roofing Company. How's your day going so far? I'm
Hey,
calling
Roxanne, it's
because
going good.
I'm really glad to hear that. The reason I'm calling is you recently filled out a form on Angie for a roofing inspection, and I'm here to help schedule that for you. Could you please confirm your full name for me?
Yeah, my name is Logan Bice.
Thanks, Logan. And could you please provide the best phone number to reach you?
Yeah, the one you're calling me on is actually good.
Got it. Thanks for letting me know. What's the address where you'd like the roofing inspection to be done? Please include the street address, city, and zip code.
Yeah, sure thing. It's 123 South, 456 East, Pleasant Grove, 84062.
Thank you for the address. Just to clarify, it's 123 South 456 East in Pleasant Grove. Zip code 84062 right now. Can you confirm that the service you need is for a roofing inspection?
Yeah, I think my roof has just reached the end of its life, and so I was just hoping to get someone to come out and take a look and tell me if I do I just need to repair? Do I need to do a full replacement? I mean, this isn't I don't really know a ton about roofing, so I was hoping a professional could give me a little bit more insight.
That makes total sense, and we're happy to help figure that out for you. Are you the homeowner at this address?
Yeah, I am. It's me and my wife, we own it.
Great, thanks for confirming. Will all homeowners be present during the inspection?
Yeah, we can be. I guess it depends on what time we schedule it for, but we could move some things around if we need to.
Perfect, thank you. We have an appointment opening for you tomorrow with a 4-hour arrival window. Would you prefer the morning between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. or the afternoon between 12 p.m. and 4 p.m.?
Let's do the morning. We can go into work late.
Morning it is. Now, here's the deal. Is your roof made of shingles or metal?
Oh, that's a good question. How do I know?
No worries, I can help with that. Generally, if your roof looks like it has overlapping flat pieces that resemble small rectangles or tabs, it's probably shingles. Metal roofs usually have large, smooth panels that might be shiny or have noticeable ridges. Could you describe what your roof looks like?
Yeah, I think it's shingles. It's black. It's kind of rough. They overlap on each other, so that's got to be what it is, right?
Yep, that sounds like shingles to me. Thanks for sharing that. Can you tell me how old your roof is or how long ago it was installed?
Yeah, we bought the house 3 years ago, but it was built in like 1950. I'm not sure if anyone's touched it since then.
Got it. Thanks for that info. Since the house is quite a bit older and the roof age is unknown, inspecting it will definitely help make the best decision. Before we wrap up, are you interested in hearing about our 0% promotional funding options that might help with the cost if a replacement is needed?
No, I think I'm okay for right now. Thank you for offering though.
You're very welcome. Thanks for letting me know. So to recap, we have you scheduled for a roofing inspection tomorrow morning between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. at your address on South 456 East in Pleasant Grove, zip 84062. A team member will give you a call to confirm the appointment soon. Do you have any other questions for me right now?
No, Roxanne, thank you so much. Have a good one. Okay, so I don't know if you guys could hear that very clearly.
Oh, that was perfect. Yeah.
Speakerphone and then the computer and then your guys' audio. So I know it's a lot of different things transpiring, but hopefully that was clear and you guys could hear that okay.
Yeah, no, we heard it great. I mean, a couple little things, but again, it was able to get the customer on the phone right away. And now, could that be set up as a workflow? Like lead comes in, and then it knows I need to call right away, or is that?
Yeah.
Oh,
So there's different options, right? So each campaign has its own unique endpoint. So if you guys are using like an Angie or a Networks or a HomeBuddy as a lead aggregator, as soon as someone fills out that form, AI calls it instantly, automatically, no human touch involved. There's a handful of scenarios where there are old leads that we'll need to add manually, but the AI is just going to run down the list. So you make that one upload, AI does the rest.
That's awesome. I mean, again, speed to lead. If you have your office staff or you're the only person answering the phone, and you got a lead that comes in at 9 o'clock in the morning, you can't get to it till 6 o'clock at night. Well, again, you just wasted all that money on marketing. It's gone.
Yep.
So,
I mean, you and I were talking about this a little bit earlier about how you've used some lead aggregators in the past, but you stopped using them because the conversions, can sometimes be challenging, right?
yeah.
With AI, I mean, I can't speak to the quality of the lead necessarily, but you're not going to be able to reach out to it faster and as often as you want to. So we're seeing a lot of people sign back up for companies like Angie because they're seeing their conversion rate, sometimes even quadruple, which is awesome.
All right, we got a question here. I know the answer. How frictionless is the onboarding for SameDay?
Yeah, I mean, Landon, that's my team that runs it. So I'd like to say it's the most frictionless. There's no friction whatsoever. But JC, I'll let you chime in on your experience.
Yeah, I mean, I literally had no communication other than meeting you guys at RoofCon, and then we jumped on the phone call. I'm not even exaggerating. I mean, I think it was less than 45 minutes after we started the phone conversation. You're like, all right, you're good to go. Go ahead and start testing it. And that was inputting all the services that we offer. I had to send you some information about our pricing because I wanted to include in pricing with our things. You don't have to do it. That's completely up to you. But I want to be able to give a price on the spot and close on the spot. But yeah, I mean, literally within 45 minutes, you're able to go live. Now I can send that over to our phone service, which is Vonage, and say, hey, after the fourth ring of the office, if nobody answered, I need AI to answer, and on the nights and weekends, or could just have it on all day throughout the whole entire day. So it is very easy to get onboarded and operating within a day.
Yeah. I mean, we've spent a lot of time trying to nail down our onboarding. I mean, I think a lot of people realize that business is won in the first 90 days, right? And so we put a lot of effort into really making sure that early on you guys are feeling supported, you're seeing success, the AI is working the way it's supposed to. It's kind of a non-negotiable for us.
Yeah. And how many times have you communicated with me versus my EA?
1, 2.
Exactly. My strategic partner from Unique Genius has literally done all communication with SameDay AI.
Yeah.
So
I would say our communication has only been, hey, I'm going to be at the show. Are you going to be there? Outside of the initial onboarding. And so it's been more of a partnership than it has I mean, for all I know, your EA he runs the company. And
yeah. So Miko is like literally going through everything. And when I put the post out 2 weeks ago and I had a bunch of people test it, I mean, Miko is in my Facebook, reading all the comments, pulling all that data, sending it to you. You guys update it. I never knew anything was going on other than it's done. That's all I'm ever told. It's done. So the communication through you guys is phenomenal. And if you have an admin team or even a virtual assistant strategic partner, it's even easier because you don't have to do much other than know that it's working. So another question from Landon.
Yeah, all in house. So we've got I don't know, 10 engineers that help build and facilitate all of this with the help of AI engineering. Obviously, I mean we buy into AI in every way we can. So
Yeah. And you said, I don't know if we talked about when we jumped on before, but Aaron came from the trades or his background.
yeah, so Aaron was he was in the pest control industry. So he was a technician initially. I think he might have done door to door a little bit, but he eventually grew into a marketing role. So he oversaw a fairly large pest control company, grew it to 20 different locations as their chief marketing officer, and then went and worked at a very large pest control company that had 180 locations as their head of growth. And the idea was born because Aaron was generating all of these leads that he had, hundreds of people answering phone calls, and he was still missing calls. Like there was no way to support the amount of volume that they were getting. And so he went off on this mission to figure out if there was a way to answer an infinite amount of calls at once, essentially. And SameDay was born.
That's incredible. So, I mean, coming from somebody who's been in the position as the entrepreneurs or business owners are suffering right now, I mean, he knew the pain points, solved the problem, and continued to develop. And that's what I like about you guys too is like you didn't just get to a point where it works and just left it. You guys are continuing to evolve and to get better and to add on additional services to help companies, stay relevant with the growth of AI right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool to see kind of the growth that we've seen and then the growth that we're expecting to continue to see. So we don't want to stop just at AI communication. We wanted to take this, to be an entire AI employee for these businesses, and we want to focus specifically on the trades because half of our team has some experience working in electrical or curbing or pest control, like our CEO. So it's very close to home for us, and we understand that there's so much opportunity that we can help you guys help a handful of businesses with, and calling and communicating with customers is just the tip of the iceberg of that.
Yeah. All right, Logan. That was a lot, man. And I learned a lot, and I'm excited to get this all implemented in our company, especially that text messaging. Like that's going to be just incredible to have conversations through AI and be able to get people excited about services, tell them about some discounts, and possibly even get them scheduled. So I'm ready to get that one rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to learn more, I put the website up there. It's gosameday.com. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. GoSameDay.com.
Perfect. So go over there. Go ahead and schedule a call with Logan or anybody on the team over there to get some more information. Let them know you heard about it here, talking about this, especially if you're in the washing or lighting. This way they can help you out and get you the best services and opportunities. You guys will be at trade shows pretty much everywhere over the next couple of months. I'll see you at Light Up Expo in 2 weeks, and I'll see you down in Florida at the at Texas, another one down there with I believe Jen McKee's. We'll be down there for that one too. So
it's hard for me to keep up. I mean,
I if it wasn't for my wife, I don't know where I'd be tomorrow. So
I fortunately / unfortunately don't travel a ton, but our team, they are. I mean, it feels like we should get a residency in Vegas for how often we're there. So,
all right, Logan, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. If you guys are thinking about using AI, definitely go check out SameDay. Again, customer service has been incredible. The onboarding has been like phenomenal process and with as little friction as possible. I think the only friction was me stalling on one thing. So that was an issue on me, not the team over there. So go check out gosameday.com and start getting those phones answered when you're not doing it. So thanks again, Logan.
Thank you, JC. Appreciate the kind words. Thanks for having me on. This was a super fun conversation. And those of you that are here in the chat, we're excited to work with you guys. I mean, no matter the business, the size, we work with everyone and everything. So I'm sure we'll be able to find a use case for you guys. Excited to share that conversation.
All right. Take care.
See you guys.